You are now tuned into the one and only
All Out Truth Channel. The true Yahawashi Network.
You are now
real
tuned into the one and only.
Please turn your volume to max. All Out Truth Channel. The true Yahawashi Network.
Awake soul. You are now
real
tuned into the one and only.
Please turn your volume to
Tuned into the one and only.
All Out Truth Channel. The true Yahawashi Network.
You are now
real
tuned into the one and only.
Please turn your volume to max. All Out Truth Channel. The true Yahawashi Network.
Awake soul. You are now
Well, and we're live.
tuned into the one and only.
Please turn your volume to
Something's playing with my computer tonight.
All Out Truth.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing well.
That was weird.
Yeah, just trying to play that intro.
I was
Was not having it.
No, it's really weird. I don't know what the problem with this was, but I'm sure we'll get on top of it. We're not studio engineers. We're just carpenters looking for the truth. And we're live.
Tuned into the one and only.
Playing with
Something's playing with my
electronics,
computer
trying to get connected to the whole
How you
world.
doing, Jason?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, well, we've always been doing that. That was weird.
Yeah, I tried to.
And try to take us down without actually debunking us with proof. All I got to say is,
You're fired.
you know, we're here for the truth. We always hit
bullseye.
and that's just the way it is. And if people want to mess around and become all I know is they're gonna
You got knocked the fuck out, man.
so you know, people like let's just if you're in here and you're saying you're a truth and you're a truth researcher, right? If you're in here and you're a flat earther and you haven't heard of awake souls, Like, I could hit any one of the. What is wrong with you people? Let me say that again. So if you're in here for the flat earth, you know where we aim?
Headshot.
We go for the headshot because that's what we are. I guess I want to start off tonight. I want to give a huge shout out to Flat Earth asshole. Shout out to everybody in the potato crew that got absolutely rocked today in the live hangout where they actually tried to suppress our names live. They tried to say that we weren't who we were live. They were trying to suppress us live. Like, these people don't even exist. They were saying as we were talking. Can you hear something Nathan said? And I'm like, Jason, they can't hear us. Jason was talking, and I thought I heard something. We're like, hello. It was great. It was
What the fuck was that?
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. I had my opportunity to say what I would like to say on Nathan's platform. So, thank you for giving me that platform to speak to your audience. And, I took advantage of it. I said exactly what I had to say, and that is, you're a shill. You are gatekeepers. We know from Flat Earth Asshole's video, nobody's come out and said Flat Earth Asshole is like wrong by evidence. Nobody showed any evidence that he's wrong. We're going to get a chance to go through Flat Earth Asshole's response to math. And it's funny. It's a knockout. I'd hate to be math. Like, it looks so bad on him. Everybody that sees it's very, very, very obvious how bad of a shill math is. It's
like, I just don't get it, man. What's wrong with these people? Jason, they're trying to crash the flat earth. And if people can't see that from what we're talking about and what they're talking about, I don't know if you guys want to we have a globe earther. What's up, Orb Schwitzer? What's up, Jay Tershurks? What's up, Mark Fleming? Who else we got? R.O. Mother TF and R. We got Victor Carrillo. What's up, Ed? DJ Dior back again. Thank you. We're really liking that everyone's coming back. And we're going to give you the buzzer. Game on. Any questions, comments, or ideas about anything we've talked about so far, or should we just keep this going?
Let's go.
I'm going to the Flat Earth Asshole video, man. I got to share it, right?
Yeah.
Nathan Oakley is still live. It's a debate channel, ladies and gentlemen, but they've never heard of Awake Souls and Event Skeptic.
Should we get a fair use played since our intro flopped?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, man. I didn't know what to do. I'm going to just send this.
Technical difficulties, but I just want to throw it up there and, put the word out in the chat and that everybody that comes across this, I got sidetracked. What was?
Hang on a second. I got something for you. Sidetrack noise of the day. I don't know what we're talking about either, but it was pretty funny. We're just trying to keep it light tonight with everybody, right? I thought you composed yourself really excellent when you were on Nathan's show. Never once did you talk down to or even entertain the idea that you might have been talking to a man trying to pretend to be a woman. I think that was valiant in you. And you let Nathan know that we were exposing him live on his own channel and that we are not going to stop. I thought that was brilliant.
The tranny thing, I'm not big into it. I don't care about it. I mean, I've learned from that Mr. E channel that pretty much all the women in movies and pageants and all that kind of stuff have all been men. And, I'm pretty firm on my stance that Patty is not a 54-year-old woman. I will go as far as...
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I will go as far as to suggest, maybe a late 20s, early 30s tranny.
Yeah. We're not.
But,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, when I first heard about it and I seen those high cheekbones in that bowling ball skull, I was like, whoa, hold up. Is this really a man? Because I actually thought for a while that Patricia Steere was attractive. I liked her personality, his personality. I liked the style. I thought she was professional. And then I was like,
well, I wouldn't be making an issue about this if she was open about it. If she, just said, yes, I was a man that became a woman and I'm in my late 20s, early 30s, and continued to do the things that she was doing, as long as she was honest about that, I wouldn't have an issue with it. It's the fact that she, won't admit to it.
Yeah. Well, all I know is that you've been always the number one guy on Law and Order in the real world, man, seeking the justice and the truth. But one thing's for sure is that I don't really think that whether or not, let's say at the end of the day, she is a man or she is a woman, the truth is that this person has infiltrated the flat earth. She has had nothing but monetarily investments put in towards this data mining, phone apps, working for CBS and, affiliated with Time Warner and InfoWars. We know, like, does everyone in the chat, do you guys think Alex Jones is a reputable source of information now that he works with the government like Trump? Is that
Yeah, well, and she's also got her connection with Landry's. Both her LLC is registered to a Landry's building, and then she had the mixers at a Landry's restaurant. So there's always that connection too.
Yeah, there definitely was that connection. And it's a big one too. And I heard there was some more information that came out that Landry's is connected to, like, let's say the Clintons and, that whole government side of things. So it's basically, we know we're being psyoped. Like, if you don't know that you're being psyoped,
Smoke weed every day.
because you ain't going to get no help from me. You know what I mean? Like, we got to wake up, people. Patricia Steere, Mark Sargent, anyone at the conference. Now, Jason, this is where I want to get down to it with you. I want to get to the nitty gritty, the gossip, like we talked about we were going to do. Since we've got the proofs and the truths, we're going to do the gossip. So, ODD. Okay, I heard him saying that he believes that Jesus was real and he walked the earth, which is good. Even Carl Sagan, probably you could get him to say that, Richard Dawkins might even say that. But so he has been convicted of a heinous crime. And in your opinion, is there a level of forgiveness for people like that? Can we still seek truth from these individuals?
Level of forgiveness. I forgive ODD. I totally forgive him for it, but there's in no way, shape, or form, me as a flat earth constituent, do I want this guy promoted in any way, shape, or form representing the flat earth community? That is ludicrous. I mean, what group of people, if they were going to put a person, in a leadership position, would take a person with a violent rape, maybe even a youth, underage, he may not be telling the truth. There's a lot of evidence of that too. Why would you take that person and promote them as some sort of a leader? It's not that they can't be forgiven. You just don't choose that person as your spokesperson for your whole movement. That's ludicrous. You're muted.
If the truth he was speaking was actually truth, and maybe the repentance that he had was actually real, then we should all listen to him. But he continues to, lie, and he wants to make a laughing stock of the earth. I don't want it. I want to have a good group of researchers that care about the truth. And well, this is where we get the issue with everything right now is, don't be a witch hunter, don't follow the Bible. What else have we been hearing? Who cares on what map it is? Like, what do you have to say to all these people?
What blows my mind is that there's just nobody out there responding with this, for the truth, looking for the truth. We've been showing that the popular AE model doesn't work for over a year. And now, because of the promotion by Flat Earth Asshole, it's exposed. And like, this is not going away. I really am sort of disappointed right now. I would think that there'd be more people wanting to know about this map, this model that we have, that we keep on saying is undebunked. Where are the truth seekers wanting to know more about this? And we keep on asking to be debunked on it. And until we are going to continue to claim that we are the leaders of Flat Earth, just by default. There's
nothing you can do.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Not debunk us. If you can come debunk us, then you can be the leaders. But until so, you're going to come here and you're going to get your truth and you're going to get your information from two honest guys that are not here for monetary reasons. We're here for the truth, like we've always said, and we're not going to lead you astray. We're going to only give you the stuff that you deserve. We're going to put out the truth of what we can truly feel. Not that suppositions, or we'll tell you if we're making a supposition. When we say that our map is not debunkable, it works on a globe and on a flat plane, we mean that is truth.
And yes, we have all these videos and evidence and are happy to continue to go through it until everybody gets it.
So, DJ Dior, there is no globe. There is no globe in the Bible. The only globe proof that anyone has is the Isaiah scripture that states that the earth is a circle. But if you do your research, you find out that it's a circuit, and the circuit is likened to the coming and going of a festival date. So is a year a circle just because it's a year? No, we measure things literally with intervals and fractions. We don't measure things circular. It never has been the way the Creator has made it, and it will never be. So, Jason, is there any proof in the Bible that the earth is a globe?
No. In fact, it's just always talking about the whole fixed, immovable, the sun rises, the sun sets. These are true. We take the scriptures literal and true. That is correct.
And we are here to fight.
I've fallen, and I
and we are
can't
not going
get
to stop. Okay, I'll stop with the sound effects, DJ.
I'd just like to say to Orb Switzer, he says, I'm really interested in these guys' model, hence being here. I don't buy the AE at all. And this is what I've been hoping for all along, is that there would be some people hanging out on the globe side still interested in the conversation that's being held. You're probably just baffled that it's possible. But you've probably caught on to some things that have made you question the possibility of this, hence being here. Now, if you're really smart and you understand things like the southern celestial rotation, then you know that the AE model doesn't work. There's, probably a whole bunch of things that you could point out about the AE model that doesn't work. And I've been doing as much of that as I can, and Ronnie has been doing as much of that as he can. And we all agree that the AE model does not work, but it is true that we are on a flat plane, that there is no curvature to be found anywhere, that the horizon always rises to the eye level of the observer. And then there's a whole bunch of other things that we as researchers can actually do with, like the P900. This is like the strongest zoom camera that you can get reasonably. You can spend like $26,000 for a lens that really is no better than what you can get out of the P900. 2,000 millimeter focal length. Now, what that has been able to do is get us zoomed into areas that we've never been able to zoom into, just us, the consumers, before. And it's funny, with a $500 to $600 camera, you can actually record yourself things like clouds behind the sun. And, you know, a lot of people are going to try to rationalize this away. But if you are an honest researcher and you study it yourself, actually do it yourself, that is the best way to just knock it home and know it for sure. Because having gone through the steps, you know, done all the things that you would require of somebody else yourself, where you know that it was done correctly, you'll be able to all of a sudden trust your eyes, and you will see that there are clouds behind the sun. I'm not the only one saying this. There's a whole group of P900 photographers that actually they all accept this as true. Even though we may disagree on different aspects of the flat earth, we all agree that we do see clouds behind the sun. And that's a big thing. So welcome here from the Globe Earth. I want to welcome all Globers. I understand your skepticism of the flat earth, and I understand it for the psyop that it is. And I've been trying to expose that, and I think finally people are going to hear, and it's going to change. We don't have to just sit around spending time destroying these shill channels endlessly. This doesn't have to be an endless war. We can, if we get this awareness spread to people, quickly, we can have a group of people that disenfranchises themselves from the popular flat earth community and just turns their back on them, does the boycott like Flat Earth Asshole suggests. But we need to have our place where we gather. And do we need leaders? We need a place to gather. There has to be some sort of organization. But I am the type of person, and Ronnie's the type of person, that what we want to do is have all the best suggestions possible, and we'll be transparent about it and make our suggestions, and we can weigh in on stuff together as a community so that we all have the buy-in. And through that buy-in, we all of a sudden have power, just like the enemies that we're fighting right now, the shills and trolls that are, you know, waging battle against us. They feel that through their network, you know, because they have this secret knowledge, or on the other side, because they have a network, they feel very, very powerful. And what they don't realize is that, well, they do realize it. This is where all their fear comes from, the whole witch hunting thing. They do realize that as we turn our backs on them, once we start talking amongst ourselves, we'll totally separate and isolate ourselves from that group of people, and there'll be like a firewall put up. They're afraid that we would come witch hunt them and like try to attack them and kill them and stuff like that. And it's nothing like that. The people that are searching for the truth are not people that are going to go attack and try to hurt somebody. These are a group of people that's, you know, thinking about sustainable living and all that kind of stuff, and you know, honest researchers.
And I agree with Eric. The Vatican does control universities, but who controls the Vatican? Who controls the Pope? Is it the 300? Is it what is it? The District of Columbia? What is it that runs the world? Is it a person? Is it a family? Is it a bloodline? Or is it simply just evil and wickedness and wicked thoughts?
Your audio, brother, is really low and garbled.
Really? I think maybe it's because
now it's good.
Feedback through the channels.
Okay.
Bright lights, though, I can tell you that. Bright lights.
You want to play that video?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely prove that the sun does not go in a circle around an AE map or any other circular map. If you go to suncalc.net, you can actually find out where the sun is going to rise and where the sun is going to set. And apparently in the southern hemisphere, such as Australia, they're seeing the sun rise from the southeast and set in the southwest. Even in South Africa, they're seeing the sun set in the southwest. In South America, they're seeing the sun set in the southwest. Now, no matter where you drag the cursor around in the southern hemisphere at this time of year in October, the sun is setting to the southwest. That's a problem for the AE map because that's the opposite direction than the supposed
I just wanted
circling.
to commend him here on this animation that he's drawn. It's pretty good, even though it destroys the flat Earth model. It is observed. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there was something weird where Math put out a video that shows a southwest sunset, and he acted like like that was okay in the flat Earth model. He like, here it happens, and somehow he's now. It was weird, like.
No, the sun is not doing figure eights. It's doing a sine wave. That's what we measure. If you put a stick in the ground and a piece of paper on the ground and you mark off each hour as a dot, you'll be able to draw the sine wave yourself. Everyone on Earth can verify this. I'll keep going.
Sun. If people in the southern hemisphere are seeing the sun set to the southwest, that is in the entirely opposite direction than the supposed circling sun. So this is a glaring hole in the AE map and model.
In the northern hemisphere's winter, their summer, it sets southwest. So in our winter, our fall, yeah, it sets southwest. There were certain people that were pretending.
That was good.
But that they were aware of what the flat Earth model meant. To say it's like.
Watch this.
It's Canada.
You just threw the food on the ground.
Okay. This is Canada.
Have another one.
The U.S. Okay. Okay. It's not the best spotlight because it doesn't do like the sun. You know, the
Shilling
motion.
for the money.
If this is Australia here, yeah, and it's setting. If this is Australia here, yeah, it's setting southwest. Southwest. From their point
of view.
Specific number of daylight hours in specific locations during specific times of the year absolutely debunk and smash
Blue
the
Blood
AE
guitar. I
map.
actually measured it this summer from across the lake from your view, and I can say that the sun does a northerly arc, rising north of east and setting north of west in the summer. But Blue Blood guitar, if you go to a Birds, I think you'd have to go up to Birchcliff. No, the Lodge, the Eagle's Nest. And if you measure the sun's rise and set now, it's going to be going the opposite direction as the AE model.
No, not in the north. No, not in the north. In the southern hemisphere or hemisplane, from the equator south, from the fall equinox on, that's when we start seeing south of east and south of west.
The sun rises south of east in Toronto right now and sets south of west in Toronto right now. Yes.
Oh yeah, well yeah, up north you would always have up north. It's always south.
No, actually no.
North?
Nope. It rises north. It sets like 340, 330 in the summer, man. It's way north of west.
You're right.
But that is in the summer. But right now, if you do it, it definitely so. My cursor is circling, so the sun, if it's going like this, it's going to be going this way. Right, Jason? Down under the, if this is the flat Earth model, number is the center. It's actually going this way. It's circling right off the Earth, right? It's impossible, guys.
And circle sun, and here is why.
There are plenty of observable proofs that prove the circle model is a wrong model of flat Earth. There's no way for the model to produce the daylight hours that are real. I mean, millions of people live in these southern cities. We can show examples of that with animations and show how it's impossible for it to reflect reality. You set the sun's reach so it can't reach Antarctica, but it's just giving the Arctic 24-hour light, as we know it does in the June summer. Then we look at what the reach is. We look at how many daylight hours is that sun giving, and up north it's giving, you know, plenty. It's giving, you know, 12 to 14, but down south, I mean, you can pause it anywhere and you can see that along those latitudes where the cities are, it's only given 5 or 6 hours of daylight, then it's going dark again, but they receive 10 hours of daylight on June the 21st or more.
Hey, brother?
This model can't
pause it?
give the reality.
I just wanted to say that out of all the work that we've done exposing the flaws in the AE model, I don't think this is an area that you and I covered nearly as well as what's done right here, right?
Yeah, Darren Nesbitt. I have to give a huge shout out and much respect for putting this. This is a good debunking. We did delve into the time zones and stuff, but we didn't explain this. This is totally new for me. I'm really thankful that Flat Earth Asshole shared this video.
And then there's also the speeds of the sun is another thing that you can do. There's so many. You know, we could actually have some fun, have a contest where we give awards to the people that come up with the best, most conclusive debunks of the AE model, and have awards for that. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. But it's already pretty much done. But you can work on that. That sounds fun. You'll probably win it all.
No.
It's much reality.
Well,
I mean, it's a basic fail of the Gleason's disk model, and it's a common sense, commonly known. You know, daylight hours can't be faked. The number of daylight hours can't be faked. So you could set the sun's reach so, you know, it's now a lot bigger. Now it will give 10 hours of daylight to those places where they actually receive it. But on the flip side, you know, if you look in the north now, everywhere within the Tropic of Cancer really is getting 24-hour light, which again we know is not reality. It's inherently flawed because of the time zones. An hour up in Canada is worth 20 minutes down south, and you're done. So the sun's reach needs to be three times further down south. It doesn't make sense. And then we have the equidistant solstices 6 months apart, north and south. Here's two pairs of examples. Again, pause, check it out for yourself. Go check some other places. Do your own research. But this is truth.
And so how does that work? Okay, the whole year's like this. Now pay attention.
Pay attention.
Flat Earth idiot. Pay attention.
Get your lines of drugs.
Okay, so
get it lined up.
Australia,
Here goes.
and then this will be the U.S. Okay, so summertime Australia.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Full day.
What is he saying?
Or you get a bit of the U.S. Right? Get the U.S. over here.
Wow.
The U.S. is here. With South America and the U.S. Okay, there we go.
Get something consistent for the experiment.
Wow.
Oh man, Orb is saying math started the flat Earth. Yes, yes.
It goes up. Whatever. They're just
whatever.
This, and our summer slows
it
down.
Slows down and goes up.
Then it comes back down, and it speeds up to make a day. Over here is another sun.
Another sun.
And they got it on the time-lapse camera.
Newmeyer.
That's going
They got
like
it
this.
on the time-lapse camera.
So basically,
At Noonmar.
After this sun, right? Going like that.
Chasing the dragon,
Chasing it.
right?
Going like this.
It's a heroin thing,
Actually,
right?
yeah. So it's going like this. Boom, 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 boom. And then this one's coming like that. Right after.
Smoking heroin now, Math.
That's what's going on.
Math smoking heroin.
It goes on for a while. And then
Chasing
there's
the
lights up
dragon.
the sky, I don't know what they are.
No, we don't.
Until we...
He's not smoking heroin.
What the fuck is this?
He doesn't smoke heroin.
I don't know if he does, but he's talking about chasing the dragon pretty seriously there.
He's an actor. Does anybody?
Yeah.
Does anybody know that Matt Boylan is an actor? He actually played a part in He played the gay guy in some movie.
Yeah, no, Eric, you can't use a laser pointer to demonstrate this because it's impossible. You could have... Jaron needs this laser pointer. And now, don't get me on laser pointers.
They're like this, and our summer
Slows down and goes up.
Then it comes back down, speeds up to make a day. Over here is another sun. They got it on the time-lapse camera at Noonmeyer. That's going like this. So basically, you have this sun coming in after this sun, right? Going like that.
Chasing it. Doing this.
Actually, yeah. So
It's going like this. Boom, 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 boom. This one's going this way. I got it. I got it. I got it. Check, check, check. 1, 2. Am I coming in nice and clear? Am I loud? If the chat could let me know, I'd appreciate that. How is everybody doing today? How is everyone doing? Let me just get this set up here so we can get everything in the shot that we need. Okay, I'll just get this here. No. How's it going on? Shout out to the people in the chat. Shout out to All Is Now. Shout out to Blue Blood Guitar. Shout out to Chev710. Shout out to Enslaved by Media. Shout out to Pat Falsey. Shout out to the one and only Twitwit. How's everyone doing? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, everything's all entertainment, that's for sure. But there is some truth seeking to be had here. Low volume, low volume. Okay, let's see here. I'll just tune this up a little bit. Check, check, check. Check, check. Maybe it is quiet, eh? Check, 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 check. Let's see now. Yeah, I'm just a carpenter. I'm not feeling well, but I had to get this out. Check, check. Maybe if I turn this up a bit more. Check, check, check. Okay, let's see now. It's not quite redlining. How's the sound now? I'll wait a minute. Nice to meet you too, for sure. Is it louder? Yeah, I can't spell at all, Blue Blood. I'm the worst speller in the world. Let me just start this here. Today, we are going to become truth seekers. We are going to investigate. I'm just waiting. Can I get a check on the sound? Sounds good? Sounds good? Okay. So, there's been some claims, some serious claims going on. Let me just turn this down a little bit more. Some serious claims going on that Soundly, who's also Curved Water, or I don't know, goes by many different names. He seems to be filming all this magical, like here, people... Do we see this curve here? Is this the curve of the earth? What's going on here? Look at this. Does anybody else not notice how doctored this footage is? Let's see what else we got here coming out of this guy. Everything here is being used under fair use, section 107. 107 of section 17, the fair use laws. You know, I just think it's incredible that
these other channels are able to go around stating that, you know, they have proof of Earth's curvature. So what I think is going on here is, because you have the flat Earth shills, the people who are perfectly lying, they're lying their faces off that they're inventing proofs and evidence that's not real. So what we have here is, if we've got the COINTEL, we've got the globe believers now, and they're starting to make up and lie with the same types of tactics that the flat Earth shills are using. I can't really let this go by. So, Soundly, everyone make sure you get over there and give him a thumbs down. He is trying to state that with his P900, he is catching the curvature of the Earth. Does anyone else think that Soundly is capturing the curvature of the Earth? I'd like to hear the little bit of audience participation. Is this the curvature of the Earth here, people? Well, I'm just going to assume that my subs know what's going on here. So let's get into this a little bit deeper. We go to Google here and we do a little search. We do a little search on can you see the Earth curve from the ground? Right off the bat, Google says, it is possible to see the effect of curvature of the Earth from sea level. Ships disappearing over the horizon. We're going to leave this point until a little bit later. Right now, we're going to deal with actually seeing the curve. And people remember, this information is coming off of scientific research that states that we live on a ball. Right? To actually see the curvature of Earth directly, i.e. to be able to see the horizon as an arc rather than a straight line, requires an altitude of over 50,000 feet. Okay, the Earth is supposedly 25,000 miles around. If you divide it up into degrees, it's like a half a degree every mile, or I believe. So you can't see half of a degree of curvature over a mile. Okay, you can't see it. But we can keep going down here. See, we got a video. So here we go. This guy here, he's going to show us the curve of the Earth, right? Is that what we think? So it came up showing the curvature of the Earth, right? So guess what, folks? He goes to a higher vantage point. He views this mountain and he's going to try and measure it. Nice tombstone symbology here. Then he goes down to a lower vantage point, right? And then he tries to zoom in on the same mountain, and you can see that there's obviously, when you go lower, right, objects, you lose the bottom of an object. So a building on the horizon, as you approach it, will increase in your vision from the top down. And as you move away from an object, due to perspective, the object will always disappear from the ground up, right? This is very, very testable. Everybody can go out and test this themselves. So again, can we see the curve of Earth? Google says no. You have to be 50,000 feet in the air to see the curve of the Earth. But we got these crazy globe shills that are constantly lying. There's no difference between Jaron and Soundly, or David Weiss, or Wolfie 6620, or whatever his name is. These people are all agents. It seems that they're all Freemasons, but that is a supposition. They seem to stick together and share their lies constantly. So let's get back to this. Let's see. If we can't just take one proof that you need to be 50,000 feet up, let's keep going here. Let's look at this forum. So in this forum here, it starts off, flying at 40,000 feet, my brain can see or imagine a very subtle curvature on the horizon. Am I just imagining this, or is this curve there to perceive? Any pilots care to chime in about when they can notice our ball? Related. So this is we're trying to find out if you can see the curvature of Earth. Yeah, all the shills when they start coming in, please, who's ever got the wrench, block these guys. Where we go? Didn't I see? Yeah, Blue Blood's got a wrench. I don't know who else wants a wrench. This guy's got to get blocked. Trying to interrupt my my flow here. That's all they're trying to do. It's pretty sad because I'm speaking truth. But that's what they do, people. Block. Block. Okay, let's get back to this. Flying at 40,000 feet, my brain can see or imagine a very subtle curve. At what point does the sky head toward black? Or I've noticed at the highest altitudes, if you look straight up, the sky is very dark. Very deep dark. Not black, just getting there. There's only on the high altitude flights I've been where on... I can't even read that. So, not a pilot. Come on. You guys aren't going to stop me. I'm still going to do what I got to do. It's probably Validation Boy or something. This is a joke. The curvature of the... Okay, not a pilot, but the curvature of Earth was visible on my Concorde flight, along with the darkness of the sky. It wasn't black, but very dark blue. I have not been able to see either features on a normal flight up to 40,000. To answer your question is easy. The sky starts to turn black once the sun is lower than the horizon, regardless of what altitude you are at. From a friend who is a military pilot, and from sources such as many books I have read on the SR-71 and the U-2, it can be said that this doesn't appear until you get up to 60,000 feet. Do you people see this? Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, now we've got 3 witnesses. I'm a pilot, and the highest I have been is 41,000. Can't say that I have noticed any curvature. Not that I have been specifically looking for it either. I would also guess that one would have to be at least 20 miles up to notice a curve. Okay, I'm going to go back. This is Soundly. This is the only human being that's ever witnessed or measured a curve. There's only one person. His name is Soundly. That's it. One person. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Freemasonic shill lie. Okay? If you can't see that for yourself, I don't know what to say. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Where's his famous Link Pontchartrain footage? So he's got all this footage of the Earth curving, eh? Let's go back to Soundly here. Oh, don't forget to thumbs it down. Here we go. Here's Earth curve. Special thanks to Dandy. So this is Earth's curve, eh? This looks like a distorted barrel lens or a damaged camera lens. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing barrel distortion. I think he's filming that actually in a mirror. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Soundly is filming into a mirror with a P900. I'm just gonna guess that, and he zoomed in on the mirror, so it's distorting the image. Maybe the mirror is slightly curved here, like a funhouse mirror. That's my supposition. I think that's how he's faking all this. This just doesn't even look real at all. I don't know what I'm looking at here. The curved tunnel. Yeah, it's probably curving left to right, not up and down. So I'm going to go back to this again. You remember, ladies and gentlemen, Soundly is curving to capture the curve of the Earth from the Earth, standing on the ground. Let's go back to everyday observable, scientifically proven, supposedly mainstream. Is it possible to see... Oh, I can't even believe this. To actually see the curvature directly, i.e. to be able to see the horizon as an arc rather than a straight line, it requires an altitude of 50,000 feet. Okay? I don't know how to make that any clearer. This has never been contested. This is truth. You can go out with a ruler and you can go ahead and film anything you want. Any horizon you want. You go out and film it. You put in a ruler up to it and you measure. You put a straight line across the screen. And I guarantee you will always get a straight line. And that is why they say you need to go up 50,000 feet to measure, because unfortunately the earth is flat. Okay? Not only that, but this row of towers here, I'm going to suggest that they're curving to the left. Anyone who's ever done work on painting lines on a field, or anyone who's ever cut grass and wanted to get really nice straight lines, is going to notice something. When you're cutting your nice straight lines along the grass and you go down a dip or up a dip, or you go left or right, it will appear that the line is dipping down. If you make a slight, if you cut your grass to the left, you're gonna see a noticeable little ripple. Well, zooming in onto that same grass cut. Try it yourself. If you don't believe me, have a look for yourself. There are optical illusions at play, and what Soundly has done is he's playing on multiple trickeries. This guy's got a whole bag of Masonic magical tricks. Why doesn't he just go there and live stream it and show us with his cell phone, videotape himself, zooming in here? Do what Jason did when we were filming the eclipse. We live streamed it with proof. We don't wait for months and months and doctor things up and then release them as supposed truths. We're open. We're transparent. These people are liars. Again, can you see Earth's curvature? To actually see the curvature directly, i.e. to be able to see an arc, you have to be at least supposedly 50,000 feet. And flat earthers already know this. I could type in high altitude balloon launch. And let's see. I don't want a fisheye. And I don't know how many of these are fake too. I don't trust too much of anything. I am a skeptic. I don't know how the chat is. I'd like to keep it up, but there's just people just constantly annoying it. Any points from the comment section today? Oh yeah, I don't care. You could download as RAWs. You know how easy I can doctor a raw footage, a raw file. Come on, live stream the actual experiment like we do over here on Beyond Flat Earth and Awake Souls. Okay, we videotape it live, so you can comment and see exactly what we're doing. Yeah, there aren't any, Jason. There's no better platforms. It sucks. They've completely monopolized sharing information. GoPro, this can't be good. Oh, there's Zero's curve, right? Hilarious. And this one looks doctored. This one looks like they've applied non-fisheye to a fisheye camera lens. And that's why we're getting this image. So we don't know what to take for proof now, but we do know one thing is for sure. You have to be at least supposedly 50,000 feet before you can see a curve of Earth. The Earth is 25,000 miles around. Okay, if you can only see 3 miles. Let's see. How far can I see? How far can the human eye see? Our eyes can see a galaxy 2.6 million light years away. The Earth's surface curves out of sight at a distance of 3.1 miles. Okay? Oh, we can see far beyond the horizon. That's right. Okay. We can see 3 miles, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my question. Anyone in the chat, if you could chime in, please, and tell me, Could you see a school bus at 3 miles away if it was on the horizon? Could you see a school bus? I'm going to wait to hear the comments from the chat. Could you see a small airplane parked on the ground from 3 miles away? Not a chance. Okay? No. See, that's the thing. It's crazy because that's what people are suggesting, that they can see 2.6 billion light years away. Right? But really, the very, very most distant edge of the horizon that we can see is only 3 miles away. That's it. And that 3 mile range circles around us. We're still working on the distances. But I'm going to say we can't really see too much after a mile. A mile is pretty far, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go back to Soundly. I'd like to hear if there's anybody in the chat that has any ideas about what's going on here. How Soundly is, what he's doing, why he's doing it. Is he a Mason? Is he a shill? Is he being paid by like some government agency? What is the point of him faking all this footage, making it grainy? I'd like to submit that everything becomes so fuzzy. Anyone in the smarter side of the scientific research, not the fake science, but there are real scientists out there, you're going to find out that everything after a certain distance away from us gets really fuzzy, right? It looks almost like it's wavy, underwater, fuzzy, not able to see. And I'm going to tell you, the same thing happens when you use a microscope. When you zoom in on something on a microscope, it gets to a certain level and goes all fuzzy. I'm also going to state that anything that you can see with your eyes is all that you can actually zoom in on using a P900 or a telephoto zoom lens. You cannot zoom in on things that aren't within your circle of sight, including the sun, the moon, and all the stars. Now, I've heard claims from other supposed truth researchers, like Mr. Grim V, stating about subatomic particles, okay? Talking about the double slit experiment, which I was indoctrinated. I loved science. I was Ronnie Science. And to tell you the truth, it ends in endless genealogies and lies. It ends with a question. A question always leads to another question. You don't get anything at a mainstream science because their job is to distract you and dissuade you from coming into the inheritance that you are created by the creator of this simulation. Science is not set up here to help us. Now, there are good scientists out there. I'm a good scientist. I love to do research. Grim V was stating that they can't decide whether it's a particle or a wave function. They can use only one slit now. They don't even need two slits. They can make the sporadic spray pattern with only one slit. Well, my question is, how are they observing a subatomic particle? How are they observing a photon? Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot zoom in on a photon. There's nothing in the face of this planet, the place of this earth. Almost said that, the P word. Hey, you know what? You can believe it's a planet. You can believe it's a plane. I could care less. I'm here for the truth. And these guys here can't just be left. They're snakes. Soundly is a snake, right? He's a deceiver and a liar. And hopefully he'll come and accept the challenge to debate me and Jason, or just have a conversation on Jason's channel. And we can go over his findings. We'll let him pitch his whole case. But like I said before, you're going to see me bringing up the fact that how far can the human eye see? The human eye can only see the horizon at 3 miles, right? Can you see the curvature of Earth? To actually see the curvature of Earth directly, i.e., to be able to see the horizon as an arc rather than a straight line, requires an altitude of over 50,000 feet. Now, my supposition here is pretty simple. They obviously proposed that you had to be up 50,000 feet. They came up with the statistic before we had high altitude travel possible. So they knew you couldn't say that it wasn't a straight line because the Earth is flat. We've redundantly proven that. But I just wanted to keep this up and keep going. Again, this is coming from pilots. Flying at 40,000 feet, my brain can see or imagine a very subtle curvature to the horizon. Could that be the curved glass that he's looking out? Because all of the airplane's fuselage, it's all curved. Bulkheads are curved, the plane's curved, the glass is curved. Everything is curved. It has a little barrel distortion to it when you look out. Just like looking through a glass and you can see things, not quite as clearly. Is he just imagining this? Or can you perceive the curve? Can we ever notice that we're on our ball? At what point does the sky head toward black? That's another great question, but the curvature of Earth was visible on my Concorde flight, along with the darkness of the sky. It wasn't a black, but very dark blue. I have not been able to see either features on a normal flight from up to 40, so it's still straight at 40,000 feet. The answer to your second question is easy. The sky starts to turn black once the sun is lower than the horizon, regardless of what altitude you are at. So this is a great question. The upper parts of the sky are black. They are void. There is nothing there. Nothing to report, nothing to say that is there. We have no idea what is above the sun when it is at its highest point. We have no idea. Well, we believe that the clouds are actually above the sun, and a lot of footage proves that. So again, from a friend who was a military pilot, and from sources such as many books I have read on the SR-71 and the U-2, it can be said that this doesn't appear until you get up to 55,000 to 60,000 feet. The highest I have been is 41,000. So ladies and gentlemen, anyone that tries to shill you or lie to you about supposedly taking pictures of the curvature of our flat Earth, you need to remind them that, hey, even your own math and geometry and physics state that you have to be at least above 50,000 supposed feet to see any curvature, to even see a slight arc in the horizon. These people are lying to you. They're faking things. They're trying to trying to co-opt the truth. They're a bunch of scabs. They're scavengers, and they're going to get called out every single time. I don't have any remorse for calling Soundly out as a shill, say whatever he is. I won't call him satanic. I don't know. He probably is, judging by his logo and his whole concept of lying to people. Yeah, if you had, hey Ranty, if you had the videos, I'd like to see your opinion. If you put if you don't have them on your channel. Yeah, Vegas is totally busted, that's for sure. I don't know if anyone else has any comments to make. I'm going to pause the music here. And I'm going to play a video. Let's see.
zoom into the Ailsa Craig. If you can see here, we'll zoom in, and once it focuses, hopefully we can not quite see the shore because we're not low enough. Now I'll stand up in this chair and look and see it, but we still won't see. We still won't see the shoreline. However, I can clearly show that what we do see will disappear quite significantly. So, I'll just take a wee walk down. And we'll go down to the shoreline. Okay, we won't quite get in the water, but we'll get as low as we can. If we zoom back in, you'll probably notice that once it focuses, that the building has gone. And that's because it's dipped below the curvature of the earth. So if you want to Google it, you'll be able to see how quickly it's evident that the curve of the earth can be seen. So I'll just attempt to stand up there, see if you can see anything, which you probably can't. But if you analyse the last position that I took, you should be able to remember the building that was on the right hand side of the Ailsa Craig.
Okay, so did we see? Did we see? Oh, we can talk about this after. But let's hear from the chat. Did everybody understand? Yeah, you couldn't see the beach because of the curve, right? So, oh, by the way, please forgive me for not being as smooth running broadcasts, because I'm not a studio engineer or a computer whiz. I'm just your average guy that has a passion for the truth, deeply passionate. If you don't know, I work a lot with Awake Souls. Make sure you check out his channel. He's got probably the best flat earth proofs and truths that I've ever seen. So in the last video, the gentleman was stating because, he did another magic trick. Let's go back to his magic trick. So he starts off by filming the island from a higher vantage point, which means that he has a larger field of view. I'm going to play my video here, and we're just going to hope I'm going to continue to rinse and repeat this information. Okay, I know everyone's probably seen my video countless times, but I have to do it. I have to do it, folks. I have to do it because I'm not going to let up on these shills ever. Never, ever am I going to let up on them, because the truth should always be heard and known. So I'm just going to type in here in this box here, because if anybody wants to find anything interesting, you got to go to our channels. It's nice that we can answer things live and have a chat, but we can't always do that. So what we want is for any thought that you have, like perspective, you just go to this thing, this search bar on our pages, and type it in and hit enter. And you're going to see a whole array of things dealing with perspective come up, right? We got a video about P-Brain. Go figure, a perspective video will come up about P-Brain, because P-Brain tried to pull some flatter. Well, he might have been indoctrinated himself. I don't know. But let's watch this video together.
Ronnie from Event Skeptic here. And today, I would like to silence the debunkers, globe earthers, who still believe that objects being obscured by the horizon is the result of curvature. This video will leave no doubt that you are living on a flat plane. As we seek for truth, we will all encounter skepticism, denial, deceivers, and those who lash out because they can't accept who the Creator truly is. This video is for the edification of the truth. It clearly demonstrates that objects leaving your position appear to disappear from the ground up, and objects approaching you in this reality appear from the sky down. In this reality, our vision is limited to what is called a horizon line. This line runs a 360-degree circle of sight completely around us at all times. The outer line marks the maximum distance of our field of view, and it is the boundary of our horizon line at 360 degrees all around us. These diagrams and observations are of a plain, flat view. At this part of the demonstration, the red and blue objects clearly can't see each other because their horizon lines haven't intersected. So from both perspectives, neither object can see each other because their field of view hasn't intersected. As the two objects, circle of sight, approach each other, their fields of view intersect. So in this simulation, we see the blue dot appearing to rise above our horizon. Yet we know that it is still partially blocked and lies beyond our actual horizon line. As the blue dot continues approaching the red dot, it appears to be rising at the horizon, but it's still perceived behind the horizon line. As soon as the blue object crosses the circle of sight or field of view of the red object, it then enters the field of view and crosses into the horizon line of the red object and becomes entirely visible. As the two objects align, their fields of view completely overlap.
Okay, can you guys hear me? You should. Let me check. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. So you don't understand this, do you? What is it that you don't understand? It doesn't make any sense. Okay. I'm going to have to put you guys in a timeout. Okay. You're going to go in a timeout for a moment, and let's just talk here. Okay. I'm going to rewind this. Okay. Everything that we see, right, is bound. It's 3 miles to the horizon line. That's as far as we can see. Okay. We can't see further than that, depending on our altitude. Right? So a ship sailing away from you, when it crosses your circle of sight, the 3 mile boundary line, starts to disappear due to its height from the bottom up. Right? From the ground to the sky. So the further the boat sails away over the flat ocean, the less and less of the boat will be seen from the ground up. From the waterline up, it's going to start disappearing and moving up and up and up until just finally you can just barely see the tip, and then it's gone. Because it has completely left your field of vision. Okay, I'm going to keep going with this. It's pretty basic. See, these are your circles of sight, your field of view, right? This red dot is that ship. It's sailing away from you. It's pretty simple. The further it goes past its circle of sight, the less and less you can see of it. So the top of the mast has the largest field of view due to its altitude. Okay? Same as watching a car drive away. Exactly. Thank you, Blue Blood. This is so basic. A child could understand this. Okay? It's now that the circle of sight from the ship, the red dot has left the blue dot and is now approaching the horizon line of the observer. The tallest part of the ship is going to be all that you can see because it has its highest view, its largest field of view. Look, they even have it at Times Square, people. Come on.
As the blue object moves further away from the red, it then begins to set on the opposite horizon until finally it completely disappears beyond the field of view.
Can't see it anymore. No curvature needed. People gotta wake up. Stop playing ignorant. People are watching. They know the truth now. Shills and deceivers, you have to wake up.
Now we will see what an observer standing on a flat plane observes as a plane passes by. The field of view from the airplane is much larger because of its altitude. Due to the laws of perspective, the higher an object is, the greater its field of view becomes.
That should be pretty basic for everybody at home.
As the airplane approaches the observer, the fields of view intersect, and the plane can be seen rising. Horizon top first. Due to perspective, the airplane rises visually, but not physically, as it approaches the observer until it is directly overhead. Due to perspective, the airplane will descend visually as it moves towards the opposite horizon. Once the plane exits the observer's field of view, due to perspective, it will visually set bottom first and disappear despite the plane never changing altitude. As an object gains altitude, its field of view increases significantly.
More time out.
The field of view from the airplane is much larger because of its altitude.
The higher you are, the more land you're going to be able to see. It's plain perspective. Good job, Free Energy. Your wording was a little bit off. I don't know if it was translations, but I seem to use the video good. Free Energy has great graphics. We just differ on our maps. This is going to be interesting right here.
If you were standing at position 1, you would be at the highest vantage point with the greatest field of view, and you would be seen from the largest distance away.
Okay, people, I'm going to just go back for one click here and just make sure people understand this. I'm going to say it nice and slow. So this is how our vision works. Okay, on a ball, on a plane, on a car, on a boat, on a train. This is how we see. Okay, if you were at the highest elevation point along this pylon at number 1, you would be able to see the largest field of view in your circle of sight. Thus, the person standing outside this circle, when this circle crosses the position 1, you would be able to see the very top of this pylon due to the laws of perspective. You would not be able to see marks 2, 3, and 4, right? Because it's outside your field of view. You can only see things inside your field of view. Just like flat earthers try to say, why the bottom up? Because the higher an object is, right, the larger it can be seen from, as well as the largest it can see. It works both ways. Have you ever played a game where, you know, if you're hiding and, you know, you can't see someone, they can't see you? Or I'm trying to think of a good explanation. Hide and go seek. If you can't see two can't see you either, right? Due to the height of an object is this larger field of view. So when you're on the ground, you have the smallest field of view looking onto the horizon.
And you would be seen from the largest distance.
Sorry, Charlie. There's been a lot of people in here shilling for soundly, but my question was, why 3 miles? What if you have a telescope? You cannot see any further with a telescope. All we do when we use a telescope or a zoom lens is we magnify what is in our field of vision. It's really basic, Charlie. It's super simple. You can't ever bring something into vision that wasn't there. And Enslaved by Media has some great work on his channel. Maybe I'll play that video after this one if he wants or lets me. Right now we're looking at a diagram, Warrior, that explains how perspective works. Okay, it's really basic. It's not hard. And, 12,000 people probably understand it now, I'm hoping. And I'm hoping that you do too. So I'm going to keep it going here.
Away.
Okay, I'll just pause it. So at position 1, you would be able to see position 1, and position 1 would be able to see you. Okay. At position 2, you can see position 2 here. It's lower because you're closer. Position 3, you moved closer. Again, you can now see this much of the tower. Position 4, you can't see until you pass this line, because you can only see 3 miles. So the person on 1 can only see 3 miles, right? But position 1 can see mark 1 because the higher you are, the further you can be seen from, and the further you can be seen. I'm not trying to talk down to anybody. I'm just trying to make it really simple.
If you were standing at position 4, you will have a lower field of view, and you can be seen from far less distance away.
The cone is there just to represent the field of view. And it is sort of how we see, though, because the Earth is a plane, right? The higher you go, the higher the horizon line rises. So three-dimensionally speaking, when you see, you actually have vision going like this down to the horizon, because the horizon will always meet your eye line. So this is a diagram of a perspective, right?
Thus,
you can see things that are higher because they have a larger field of view.
See the top of the tower and not the bottom, as long as our field of view stays outside the marks 2, 3, and 4. This is plain observations that everyone can do. As an observer approaches the tower, it will be completely invisible until your field of view intersects with the tower's highest point and field of view. At each of these intersection points, due to your limited field of view from the ground, the tower will become visible from the top down until you reach the point where the entire tower is within your field of view. Similarly, as you move away from the tower and your field of view crosses the intersection marks, less and less of the tower will be observed, disappearing from the bottom up until it's completely invisible once again. All objects at the horizon will always appear from the top down due to the laws of perspective in relation to your field of view. Likewise, as a ship sails away from your stationary field of view, it will appear to disappear from the bottom up, the very same way stationary buildings appear from the top down when you're the object that's moving. Please stay tuned, tune in, and join in with teamYahawashi. I'm giving a huge shout out to the one they call Disc Part Reality. Thank you. And to everyone else, please get involved. Tonight, 8 p.m. Central, Beyond Flat Earth. If you can't make it then, and you're listening to this in the future, the link is right here. Check out what we had to say. Please, get involved. Now at this point, the pylon has completely disappeared. There is no curvature between the observer, you, the horizon, a boat, a plane, and that pylon. No curvature. We live on a flat earth.
Okay, so I'd like to just ask now, there was a comment here. Well, it's very easily explainable on a spherical Earth. Do you have any clue how difficult the explanation that you just put forth is? Well, because the Earth is curving, we see less of objects moving away or coming forward. The fact that the ball Earth says because a boat disappears from the bottom up is proof that we live on a ball is some of the most indoctrinated, crazy talk I've ever heard. And I'm going to go back to the way I started this for a second before I go to the next footage here. Where is it? That's Soundly's trickery. This one here. Is it possible to see the effect of curvature from the Earth, from sea level? Ships disappearing over the horizon. To actually see the curvature of Earth directly, i.e. to be able to see the horizon as an arc rather than a straight line, requires an altitude of over 50,000 feet. So, then we went further into the search. We looked for pilots that could concur. And the best answer we got. Yeah, that's a great picture by Enslaved by Media. Let's see. I did this quick in Adobe Lightroom. See image of Longbridge and then see the subtle change in Longbridge too. Manipulating files is super easy on a laptop. I just thought myself this in 2 minutes. Don't underestimate the information we could gain from a raw file as you can easily see if a raw file was tampered with. Yeah, that's wow. That's crazy. Look at the difference. Wow. Is it curved or is it straight? I'll let everyone else be the judge. But you can't see curvature. It's measured. If the Earth is 25,000 miles around, to actually see the 8 inches per mile squared is impossible. It's like half a degree a mile or something less or crazier. So, like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, but I can tell you guys one thing. I research and test things before I just make crazy accusations. Okay, maybe it is a pyramid shape. That's a great point. I would like to work on that in Blender, but most 3D animation tools only let you use the cone shape when you're trying to explain that field of view or that field of sight. Oh, thank you. 0.14 degree per mile. There we go. We got the truth. There it is. And you think Soundly is picking up that in his footage? This is real. Soundly has captured 0.014 of degree per mile with the zoom. How many miles is this? So right there, this photo has now been disproved, because if you can measure more than 0.014 degree of a curvature, it totally disproves the fact that you live on a ball, because the ball would need to be, 10,000 miles around to necessitate being able to measure the curvature from the Earth. I bet you it would have to be even smaller than, it'd probably have to be 5,000 miles, and you'd be able to measure it on the ground, I would admit. Because pilots state that it can be said that this doesn't appear. You cannot see the curvature of Earth supposedly until you get up to 55 to 60,000 feet. But yeah, we got Soundly measuring it a foot off sea level. Soundly can measure this. What's that measurement again? 0.014 of a degree. Can you guys believe that? I'm not buying it, Soundly. I think you need to come up with some more evidence and some more reasoning why you think the Earth seems to curve that much of a degree there. I'd like to see the mathematics on that. That would really make my day. If you could measure the curvature of Earth in a mile, how small would that Earth have to be? Yes, thanks. Wake Us From Slumber. Good work on your... Everybody make sure you check out Wake Us From Slumber. He has a great video talking to the brothers and sisters of Christ and explaining what's going on with Trump's doublespeak and the deep state. I'm going to have to get... where was that link, Blue Blood? Here it is. No. Oh, you could have put the whole link in, Blue Blood. You have a wrench. You can put links. Maybe this will work. Here, let me try. Oh, this is Chev's. I don't know if these are links. I'm going to go back to that in a minute, Dave. It's very interesting what you provided. I like it. Let's see what we got here. I was pretty fast, but it was kind of hard to see. It was kind of hard to see what I was looking for. We'd need more like P900 footage to see that. Maybe there's better footage here. Well, there was some interesting.
404 miles per hour.
Okay. See how as the race car here approaches, you begin to see more of it. Let's back that up and slow it down. Let's actually get the let's get the snip tool, or no, magnifier. See? As the vehicle approaches you, you're going to see it getting taller from the top down. The same way that the sailboat appears to be rising around the curve as it approaches you. This is done on a Bolivian salt flats. You see how you see more and more of the car? More and more of the car from the top down. I'm going to rewind that again. The first thing that we could see is the top of the race car. We can't see anything else. First thing we can see is the top. Here it is, just the top, just the top, just the top. As the race car approaches the observer, you're going to see more and more from the top down. Just like if the race car or the sailboat was moving away from you, you're going to see it disappear from the bottom up. It's the reverse option when it's moving away from you as it is as it's approaching. So as an object approaches, you will see more and more of it from the top of the object down due to the laws of perspective on a flat plane. This is flat here in Bolivia. This is salt flats. There's the car. So you could see the tip here and the wing, and then as he approached closer, it started to get larger and larger towards the bottom. See if we can get some more footage of this in here. We need to see a good long pass. This one's kind of coming at us though. Pretty crazy. Bear with me, everybody. So if I'm correct, this is a flat plane. As this car moves away from us, we should start to see less of the car from the ground up. Until all we can see is just the tippy top of the car. Again, this one's kind of approaching us. It's too bad I need a better angle. I don't know if anyone else has any footage of this or want to share a link where this is possible. So again, I'm stating that the closer objects are... No, hang on a sec. I gotta turn this thing off. Now, it's hard to explain stuff. Now I know why Jaren has such a hard time when he's lying to everybody. We have any other links? Is there any? Does anyone else have any footage? Or I could probably just search for it too. Salt flat races. Nice. Supercharged. A little bit of alcohol fuel. Nice number. Show us any more? Okay, it's too bad. I like the race cars, but they're not going to show us anymore. Oops. Darn it. Let's see what this one shows. So we should see less of the rider from the ground up. So it's just his helmet. That's a hard one. It's not quite as clear. It's too small of an object. But it is flat there. Incredible place. Let's see here. Get back to this. I lost my chat. Yeah, we need a larger object to zoom in on. It's not easy to do. We could find it, but you know, I'm gonna just keep harping on these same things that what Soundly's trying to provide here is nothing but lies and shillery. I wonder how much they pay him, or does he get paid? Does he just do it for the ego, for the whatchamacall, the narcissistic tendencies? Is that what drives a shill? Does it always have to be you know, monetarily driven? What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think that maybe some shills just do it because they want to shill? They get enjoyment out of it? I don't know. I can't figure it out. That's an interesting point. Yeah, the hearing thing. Yeah, that's a total other thing that we should investigate at some point. Is how far can we hear? I know they have the inverse square law, and you know, there's this and that, and we've been all taught that the sound bounces off a dome, or like we don't really know what the truth is. Yeah, that bike was only a mile and it was almost gone. Good point. That was a good point. Really good point. I wish I could find more of that stuff. More evidence to prove that, you know, there's no way we can see as high as they want to tell us that we can. We just can't see that far. We can't see objects beyond 3 miles. We can't bring them back into view. It's impossible. We cannot measure, in my opinion, or no, it's been proven, we can't see further than 3 miles. Just because science lies about almost everything else. Go out and test it for yourself. Now, I'm talking about looking out on the horizon, not looking at any. So the higher an object is, the larger its field of view again. We have to keep that on track. No, it's normal to lie. Yeah, it's normal for liars to lie. You know what? It might even be true. Scary, but Soundly is taking a video. A lot of it. Sure, he is. You get to see his channel. Look at this. Look at what he's done. It's all trickery. This guy is one of the best, man. Look at that. Do people think that this is a real picture too? That he formed his S? Like, hello? Hello? Oh, he doesn't do Photoshop. He doesn't doctor images. No. Not at all. Not at all. Look at all this guy's work. So he's filmed the curvature of Earth, ladies and gentlemen. Soundly has proven that you live on a ball that is, well, if you have to be 50,000 feet up to view an arc, you have to be 50,000 feet in the air. So if Soundly's picking it up from 0 feet, 6 feet, the Earth must be 1,000 miles in circumference. Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? Here's the question. Is the Earth larger than 1,000 miles in circumference? Could it be for sure larger than 1,000 miles? Because we can all get in our vehicles and drive for 1,000 miles. I don't think we went around the ball, did we? Because what Soundly's trying to propose dictates, it demands, Soundly demands that the Earth is 1,000 miles around. Can you believe that? If he's taking pictures of the curve of the Earth, and we know you have to be 50,000 feet in the air to see in any slight arc on the horizon, rather than a straight line, because the Earth is flat, ladies and gentlemen. So they came up with the 50,000 feet because there's nowhere that you can find curvature. So no one can get to 50,000 feet unless you have a Concorde or you're in the military, right? Oh, I'm starting to see now what's going on. But then we have the conspiracy within inside the conspiracy. We got Soundly coming out to debunk the flat earthers. Soundly's going to have the proof. Well, he's filming the curve from the ground. Could it be that Soundly is doing the same thing that Jaron Campanella and Rich from Mr. Thrive and Survive? These guys are doing the same tricks. Wolfie, Sly, Antonio, Sean Hufford, I don't know Sleeping Warrior, but Jed Skeptic. It's supposed to be Flat Earth Media. Jed Flat Earth Media. But he's still a skeptic because he hasn't looked at the proof. You could take the scientific theory of gravity to a court of law and prove it, then it's true. You can't though, right, Billy? You can't. Soundly is not a COINTEL plant? Yeah, right. You're in a timeout. Are you working with Soundly? You don't see what he's doing on his channel, Billy? You don't see that Tim Osman and Jaron Campanella and look at this stuff. Look at this. Look at the work that he's doing. Is he filming all of this in a mirror? I don't know. Does he pivot his camera? Does he ever film what he's filming with a cell phone instead of just the camera? Or we have to look, right? What are we learning here? Oh, make sure you get over and support his Patreon. Sally needs you to donate for his tricks. Shill. Wonder if Sally knows how to do SEO. Oh, look at this. This guy has a 0 on his SEO. Are you kidding me? This guy's supposed to be intelligent. He doesn't even know how to share his work. What's he out doing? He's trying to get money from people, and he doesn't even know how to properly tag and promote his own videos. This guy does as least as possible to share truth. This guy is just set up here to try and fool flat tards. You ain't fooling me, buddy. Why are you in the chat here? Why don't you defend yourself? Why don't you come on Awake Souls channel live tonight? Soundly. Tim Osmond or Jaren Campanella, because I know you guys all work together. We're not stupid. People have woken up to your lies a long time ago. What is he trying to prove here? That the train is the curve of the earth? This is ridiculous. He did do a live broadcast? Did he show what he was filming on the broadcast and then put that evidence up here on YouTube? That'd be great. That's what I'm looking for. I keep hearing this Soundly name and Tim Osmond, and this looks like smoke and mirrors, ladies and gentlemen. Why does he start the video, fully zoomed out? People usually start and zoom in slowly. What's going on here? Is this the curve of the earth? You guys understand that this bridge is turning to the left? It's not going down. It's turning to the left. Have a look. You can't see curvature unless you're 50,000 feet above the earth. Okay? Objects go out of view because of the laws of perspective when you're on a flat plane. It's really easy. It's really easy. So anyone can figure this out. Anyone. But you got these guys out here running amok, lying, causing division. I care about tags, Anonymous Farm. I do. You're out here trying to promote yourself and you're asking for donations? You don't even know how to promote your own work? This guy doesn't care. He doesn't care. He does not care about anything. He cares about making money and fooling you. Well, at least he's got a 15. That's good. 15's not bad, right? No, it's because he's a liar. But anyways, that's beyond. That's my supposition. You guys can have your own opinions on people based on your own evidence. But I'm telling you right now, Soundly is a joke. He works with Jaren. He works with Tim Osmond and Jed Skeptic. They're all a bunch of fakers, liars, and deceivers that are only out here for one reason. They're trying to tell you they're filming the curve of Earth. Hello? Google, can we see the curve of Earth? To actually see the curvature directly, i.e. to be able to see the horizon as an arc rather than a straight line, requires an altitude of 50,000 feet.
to this. You can fine tune it even more if you want it to just be perfect. But this is just for reference. So it's rising south of east. It's coming in at 110 degrees. It's becoming visible. Circles around, and then it's setting at 250 south of west. Now, these angles, it is rising to the south, setting to the south, east and west, everywhere. Not just this place. Take any point along this 19-degree latitude. It's rising and setting south of east and west. But it's not just that. It's everywhere. Everywhere on the whole earth. It's rising south of east, setting south of west. So we're going to combine the equinox of what the sun is doing and what the moon is doing, and we're going to create a challenge for all you people that believe in the popular flat earth, all right? The popular flat earth AE challenge. Please explain to me how the sun can be rising 90 degrees east and setting 270 degrees west everywhere on earth if the sun and moon are doing circles over an AE map. In addition, explain how the moon is rising south of east and setting south of west when we know that the moon's meridian passing is at about 19 degrees close to this. You can fine tune it even more if you want it to just be perfect. But this is just for reference. So it's rising south of east. It's coming in at 110 degrees. It's becoming visible. Circles around, and then it's setting at 250 south of west. Now, these angles, it is rising to the south, setting to the south, east and west, everywhere. Not just this place. Take any point along this 19-degree latitude. It's rising and setting south of east and west. But it's not just that. It's everywhere. Everywhere on the whole earth. It's rising south of east, setting south of west. So we're going to combine the equinox of what the sun is doing and what the moon is doing, and we're going to create a challenge for all you people that believe in the popular flat earth, all right? The popular flat earth AE challenge. Please explain to me how the sun can be rising 90 degrees east and setting 270 degrees west everywhere on earth if the sun and moon are doing circles over an AE map. In addition, explain how the moon is rising south of east and setting south of west when we know that the moon's meridian passing is at about 19 degrees south latitude. The last part of this challenge is that you cannot use any of Dr. Zach's apparent sun or atmos plane CGI disinformation. The reason why you cannot use any of Dr. Zach's CGI apparent sun, atmos plane, refraction, CGI disinformation is covered in the March 1st episode of Beyond Flat Earth. This is very current. At 28:55, I'll have this all linked up. I read a series of comments between me and a person whose user's name is FE Astronomy, who claims to be in day-to-day work with Steve Torrance, the originator, the creator of the CGI that Dr. Zach has been using. So I'm just going to point out a few things from this real quick. So here's some of that conversation I had with FE Astronomy. Now I'm just going to paraphrase some of it. I'm going to read others of it directly. But it's all right here, so you can actually stop it, pause it, read it yourself. But the important part is coming up in just a few seconds here. And then I'm going to start reading about now. Flat Earth Astronomy says, okay, let's try a different approach since I am seeing the links in the thread and you don't. go to Steve Torrance channel on YouTube and find the Veracruz, Mexico model. Now we are well aware of the other astronomical errors in the AE projection. Bingo! The purpose of me giving this as an example is to show what happens to the star trails with a JPL star data mapped AE projection. As soon as you model an atmos plane, you see the southern sky also has a rotation point. In this example, it's below the horizon as it should be from that location. I say, do you know Steve at all? Can we reach out to him to model the same city in Mexico with the sun, moon, and stars for March 20th, 2017? I will try as well. He responds, yes, I speak to him on a daily basis for our research. Currently, we are preoccupied with trying to find a way to model magnetic flux fields or at least replicate the visual effect. To what purpose, may I ask, would you like this model to be made? I say, I'm going to get real-world observations for these three things on March 20th, 2017. Let's see if they match. I will be making a video, that's what this is right here, about it regardless, but it would be nice to have your model to compare it to. Since you wanted me to address it, I am going to. I'll be putting out the video very soon. Any way you can bump it to the top of your priority list? He responds, the AE model is only accurate on the 90 degrees overhead positions. We use that projection since all star data is projected on the AE projection. It is not an accurate model. It is not an accurate model. So far we got rise and set times lined up over the year, but the rise and set azimuths are way off for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons. The rise and set azimuths are way off for obvious reasons. So then I respond, this seems like backpedaling. You asked me to look into this and I am. If you want 90-degree overhead, please do the simulation for Townsville, Australia. The moon will be 90 degrees overhead at its meridian passing on March 20th, 2017. If you want to put your CGI program to the test and see if it matches what we witness in reality, this should be really simple. If you are using the CGI program to create disinfo to support an impossible AE model, I'm going to expose it. Either way, I am making the video and bringing full attention to the real observations on March 20th. If you think your atmos plane can account for what we witness, let's see it. If you do not think it can account for what we witness, then it's time to scrap it and make a public apology for misleading people.
How many of you think that the flat Earth model doesn't make sense because the sun would never rise and set, but instead be visible 24 hours a day? Welcome to the Steve and Dr. Zach Show.
And 15 months ago, I started to work on this with Chandra Seke, aka The Man, and then we teamed up with Steve Torrance, and together we solved this puzzle. If our theory would work, and we had no idea how to test it. Steve already had the flat Earth model designed in his software, but there was something missing from it, and this something was the atmosphere. And we had no idea how to add this atmosphere to his model. And by coincidence, Steve found out that his program is capable to model the atmosphere exactly how it is. So he took the data from the internet and built all the layers of the atmosphere, and suddenly the magic happened, and everything started to make perfect sense. And when I say everything, I mean everything. The sun started to rise and set, and it started to match reality more than the globe model does.
And all we did to make the flat Earth model work was add the atmosphere exactly how science represents it. We didn't make it up.
Now, solving this problem doesn't mean that we solved everything. We still have a problem with the elevation angles, because the sun that we see is not in its real position. What we see is just the apparent sun. So imagine the real sun is here and the fake sun is here. The shadow that you're going to get is going to follow the apparent sun and not the real sun. And this is not what we want. Okay, so the elevation angle that you're going to measure with the sextants or with any other tool is not the angle of the real position of the sun. It's just the angle of the apparent sun. And we're still working on how to locate the real sun that we never see. Once we locate it, we will be able to get the exact elevation angles of the real position of the sun. And by doing that, we can draw the flat earth map from scratch.
And bada bing.
We didn't make it up.
So here's that Steve Torrance channel on YouTube. You can see that most of his videos are dedicated to CGI, some program that they admit does not match reality when it comes to the rise and set azimuths of the sun, the moon, the stars. That they do not match. They are not accurate. And this is what Dr. Zach is using and promoting as being truth and being the answer, in that we have some sort of apparent sun or a fake sun, and that we can't use measuring instruments like sextants to see where and what, what angles the things are happening at. It's unbelievable, really. So to all the Dr. Zachs and the Steve Torrance and the flat earth astronomies out there, anybody else that believes that the sun and moon are doing circles over an AE map, the challenge is March 20th. Take a look at this Townsville, Australia, and explain how the moon is rising at 110 degrees, coming in from the southeast, setting south of west. And this has seen directly overhead, right overhead. And this is south of the equator, where supposedly the sun is going to be doing circles around this point over an AE map and rising 90 degrees east and setting 270 degrees west everywhere on Earth. This is the challenge. Explain it and do it with some sort of non-CGI program that is admitted to not work. The reason why I've added the moon to the equinox challenge is because of the deceivers out there that are going to say that the sun's an apparent sun and it's just a reflection and we don't see where the true sun is. Even though that this is what people have navigated by for centuries before things like GPS, the moon's a little different. The moon isn't too bright. You can film it with a P900.
Okay, everyone, I had to switch this up. I'm going to have to do it a different way because they're running ads over Jason's video. He's not even monetized, but I don't know why it's showing up on the OBS stream. It's incredible that this live stream from yesterday still isn't up on YouTube. It's incredible. Adam is not an atmosphere. What's going on, everyone? What's up, Tiffany Saint? Can you guys hear me? Should be able to hear me, right? If you think the true pronunciation of the Christ is Jesus, come debate us. Yes, 100%. We feel that it's Yahweh and Yahawashi, and that's ancient Paleo-Hebrew. Yeah, I just like the word Adam as well. We've never observed an Adam, right? If anyone have any links, does anyone want anything? Anyone want anything shared? Is there anything that caught your eye lately, or is there anything you want to discuss? I'm always open to participation from the people in the chat. You guys are the real people out there, just like me. We're just looking for truth, right? I'm not seeing too many links. I'm not seeing too many reactions. I don't know if people can hear me. I'm pretty sure they can. So we went over soundly. We went over the fact that you have to be above 50,000 feet to measure Earth's curve. So to see an arc on the horizon, so everything else will always appear in a straight line. They've known this for ever, really a long time. They've known this, ladies and gentlemen. For you to be able to see a slight arc in the horizon, you have to be over 50,000 feet up. So the fact that Soundly is trying to lie to people and say that you can't see or you can see the curve on the ground is really laughable because you can't. You can't see the curve. If anybody wants to screen share something, I think Enslaved by Media had was it Flat Earth Photography that let's check him out. See what he has. Oops. I wanted to go over one of, maybe he had, or was it Dave who said that you can't bring stuff back into view that's not already in the view. Nah, if this is, I'm sorry, I gotta put this guy in a timeout. If this is your video about the being in a cult, you know, I thought it was horrible. I think you're a pathetic person who's a Satanist, tomfoolery. You must to produce a video like that. I don't know. That was a bad video. Horrible. Even though those people are phony and fake. I don't know. Is there no sound here? Oh, that's back.
Hi guys, so we are just watching a reflection of the moon on the lake. Right here is the reflection.
Oh, we got Jim Giraffe in the house. What's up, Mr. Giraffe? I can deal with parody.
And there is the moon.
Yeah, we make enemies with Team Satan. I'm trying to getting heavy